thewhothatdaily.com. That's right, thewhothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, thewhothatdaily.com is your site. Thewhothatdaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. What's up, fam? This is Big Q from the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year, we gave away several PS4s and games. So this year, we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket to up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love. Big ups to you.
Say they gon' beat them Saints. Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, Who Dat Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that to the black and gold family, man. We in this thing. Sports Coma. It's been a while, but we in this thing. Much love to the great Saint think tank. Much love to the Who Dat Nation. We appreciate you guys for chiming in on it. I'd like to give big love and a shout out to all the family members out there that have been supporting, sending well wishes and prayers as well, and checking on your boy and the rest of the fam. So I'd like to thank you guys first and foremost. Much love to you guys. Just to let you know, it's been a while since the last time I talked to you guys, right before the storm came in. Of course, we lost power. Of course, we lost internet. And to a degree, we still did regain power, but we're dealing with internet issues as well. So hence this show, how we doing it right now. So we're still working it through, but in a couple of days, we should have everything back to where it belongs. So like I said, I'd like to thank all you guys for being here. Much love to the family members. Hashtag NOLA Strong is in the banner, in the scroller. So big ups to the fam. I appreciate you guys for joining me for this installment of the Coma. I just wanted to address a few items, being that this is the first time that we did a show in some time. This one, TSC, Saints cut roster down to 53 and more news. Now, I'm going to go over several articles with the family members on this rendition of the Coma, just to brief the family members from not talking to you guys in a while. So first and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to all of the players in the Sports Coma Fantasy League, man. All the slots have been filled. I'd like to thank all of our players, man. Much love to you guys and appreciate your support on that. But if you want to compete or do something, you can sign up with the Fantasy League is now full. You can feel free to sign up for our PS5 raffle. You know, you can do that. The link is in the description section below for the PS5 raffle. Sign up $25 for an opportunity to win a $700 PC equipment. So what you guys want to do that, and that also helps out the platform as well. Sign up, hit the link in the description section to give you all the information of what you need to do as well. So, with that being said, let's get right into it, family, on this episode of the Coma. We're going to start it off by talking about the fact that the Saints did ultimately, cut down the roster. And the biggest surprise for me, and we'll get into it, was the fact that they kept so many linebackers. I did not anticipate the Saints keeping so many linebackers as what they did. And of course, the Saints have made several moves since then. I'll give you my break them down and give you my analysis, my focus on some of these things. This one's coming from the Saints News Wire. As you can see, a picture rendition of the Saints as well, showing you that this is the Saints did do some stuff. They did, release Aldrick Rojas, the kicker. The Saints currently don't have a kicker on the roster, but the news word on the street is the Saints is going to bring Rojas back after some roster tampering or tweaking, as it were. So let's look into what the depth chart looks starting off. As you can see, Jameis Winston on top of the team with Taysom there. And of course, Ian Book made the team. All right. And then, of course, we go further down. Mr. Elvin Kamara, Latavius Murray made the team, obviously. Tony Jones Jr. was here, height and role in the Saints offense. I expect him, in the way Coach Payton is viewing Tony Jones's running style, I expect him to be a guy that they use a lot more than what they do with Latavius Murray. Latavius could be seen as a short yardage guy, but Tony Jones will be used to complement Elvin Kamara as well. So it's very intriguing. Of course, Dwayne Washington was able to be out. Devontae Freeman, who couldn't beat out Dwayne Washington team guy. And that's the only thing keeping them alive on the team. If you get a running back that gets on the team that challenges Dwayne Washington, he's good at special teams. Washington's out of here. Dwayne's got to take more of a point of focus in the Saints running attack. Hopefully this year it is with this. It's been here for several years. Hopefully he can. The Saints did pick up Prentice, a fullback, after putting Alex Armah in the street. More on that later, of course. And of course, you see Armah there as well. PS net indication says practice squad. And you see Troutman is there as well with Juwan Johnson elevating. And we talked about that in the camp side of things. And we talked about Juwan Johnson's ability and how he really fit in at the tight end position, that Juwan Johnson is really a guy that could leapfrog Nick Vannett. And he's done that, in my opinion. And he will complement Adam Troutman really well. So intriguing mix of things going on, as you can see Nick Vannett there as well. And then Garrett Griffin made the team. Once again, boy, he continues to luck out. Ethan Wolf is on the practice squad. As you can see, Teron Armstead, once again, with Ryan Ramczyk are the ends. The backup tackle is James Hurst. Then you can see Landon Young is there as well. And then, of course, the guards are Andrews Pete, Cesar Ruiz, Eric McCoy. You see Will Clapp there as a center and guard. He makes the team. Kelvin Throckmorton makes the active roster because he can play guard and center. So they like Throckmorton, big guy. And then, of course, practice squad is Caleb Benock, who makes the practice squad as a veteran offensive lineman. Wide receivers are Callaway. Traquan Smith is there. Deontay Harris will miss a couple of weeks of football. You see Ty Montgomery, who's working at as a wide receiver position because of the injuries. LeJardan Humphreys is back on the squad. Quan Baker makes it, but as a practice team player, which is good. Aesop Winston is also on the practice squad. And, of course, Kelvin White, who I thought the Saints would get rid of. They have a fascination with him. If they can get them together, they can have somebody work something. A lot of drops in preseason and regular season games have my doubts. But if anybody could fix a broken down wide receiver with confidence issues, this is the New Orleans Saints. He has a skill set. Everything is psychological with Kevin White. Of course, you look at the lone snapper, Zach Wood. Blake Gillikin is the takes over instead. Will Lutz is there, but Will Lutz is injured. So, Eldrick Rojas is a guy that was supposed to bring in to fulfill that as well. So after a few moves, the Saints are supposed to bring him in. Cam Jordan is sitting on top of the team there from the defensive end with Davenport, who looks absolutely knocked down. And when it comes into the preseason, he was doing his thing, healthy, playing good. Peyton Turner looked good early on before the Saints decided to sit him down and save him for the regular season, which was a smart move. No need to get him banged up any further in the preseason. So Tanu Passanio is also there as an end who can help out as the interior lineman as well. Carl Granderson stepped his game up. You see Malcolm Roach once again comes back with Christian Ringo, excuse me. Ringo is back in there. Ringo stepped up big time in camp. Shy Tuttle, despite having some issues in camp, makes the team. So Shy Tuttle makes the team. Montavious Adams, who we'll get more on him later. And of course, you see, so Josiah Bronson is going to be a practice squad player. Now, Albert Huggins is also a practice squad player. So the Saints did get a lot of their uh, they get a lot of the linemen that they had that were performing well in camp. They were able to get them onto the practice squad, which is good news. Moving on to the linebacker position, Demario Davis, Quan Alexander, Zach Bowen is there. Pete Werner is there. And of course, Chase Hansen. We know the Saints love Chase Hansen. He's a converted safety that they moved the linebacker, was making plays in preseason and in camp. And then, of course, Andrew Dowell makes the team, which is I was surprised by him making the team. But Dowell was making it very difficult for the Saints to turn him down. But the Saints, I don't know how well this stay, because that's with all those what you see Jamario and Quan and Zach. That's three. Werner makes four. Chase makes five, and Dowell makes six. Will it stay like that before the Saints make a move? Perhaps one of the linebackers have to go for them to open up a spot for the kicker. We'll see how that all shakes, but much flux is going on. The Saints were able to get Witten McManus onto the special teams. Practice squad. He was performing admirably in camp. In the secondary, which is still in the state of flux, Jenkins, Marcus Williams, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, JT Gray is back again. No surprise there. Jeff Heath makes the team. The former Cowboy Raider, now Saint, makes the team back there. Remember, he has a familiarity with Coach Richard with his time with Dallas. So could Jeff Heath be somebody the Saints tend to utilize? He's a veteran guy who he to me is a guy that is a good he has good vision. He knows what he's looking at. But the thing with Heath, he said he has athletic limitations that could be problematic. So could Coach Richard kind of give him? Could he become? What we were thinking about getting DJ Swearinger back. So instead of getting Swearinger back, we get Jeff Heath, which is this year's rendition. Could he provide such versatility as Swearinger, who comes in as a veteran who can help you out on the back end? This is what Heath role is. Of course, you see Laddie Daddy right there, as well as Ken Crawley, who should be good to go. Adebo, who had an excellent camp and a preseason. Love what he's doing. The Saints are confident in him. I give you the questions about why aren't the Saints going out and looking at bringing in guys like another cornerback into the mix? Why are they not bringing in or going to get another cornerback to help out? What you see all the trades that's happened with Pittsburgh, they got recently in the trade, and with Seattle, what's going on there? The Saints are confident in Ken Crawley. They're confident in Paulson Adebo, and why would you not? If Paulson Adebo is showing you what he showed you during the preseason, during training camp, showed you that he's ready for a big role, why would you not? Okay, let's see what he can do in the regular season. And if he struggles a bit, we always can then reach out and see if we can bring in somebody by trade. But if Paulson Adebo thrives, and of course, as a rookie, you expect him to struggle, but when he starts struggling really too bad, where's the cutoff point where you have to take him out of there, for confidence issues? Because, you expect rookies to have tough games. But Paulson Adebo is obviously the Saint that they're going to use as a guy that they put in as a cornerback by fire, baptism by fire sort of thing. PJ Williams, once again, that old handshake coordinator, makes it once again. Brian Mills, who got burned on this picture right here, is going to be on the practice squad. The Saints also have Kavari Russell on the practice squad, who missed a lot of camp. I don't know what he can do. And then the Saints bring in Kadar Holman, who was a former Packer DB, as a practice squad player as well. So this is the current rendition of the team. And of course, the Saints did feel, like I said, when I look at this one, the Saints are making a kind of improve the defensive line. They already signed a defensive lineman, Montavious. We'll go over that signing. But, they are looking to kind of look at the interior defensive line. Special to the secondary, not so much. Look like they're pretty confident in what they got for right now. Now, if things struggle a bit, they can ultimately change and move beyond them and see if they can get help somewhere. But this is the active 53-man roster as currently constructed. Now, we're going to move on to the next round of news, which, and like I said, what's intriguing about that is the fact that the Saints have so many linebackers. I didn't anticipate them keeping them many linebackers. And at the same time, I really don't think that will ultimately change in my. I think they'll make a move and might put somebody on the waiver wire because there's still spots that's left to go. Even though we showed you some of the practice squad players, the entire rendition of the players. I'm gonna see if I can bring up a separate list of practice squad players. But let's go on to our next article. The New Orleans Saints place wide receiver Thomas on the pup list, the physically unable to perform list, or as I like to call it, the puppy list. Now, this is from Mike Triplett. Mike Thomas will miss the first 5 games of the season as the Saints placed him on the physically unable to perform list. Players on the pup list cannot begin practicing until the first 6 weeks of the regular season have passed. But Thomas is required to only miss 5 games since the Saints have a bye week in 6. So the first game he could possibly play is against Seattle on Monday night in week 7. Now, Thomas has been sidelined since he underwent ankle surgery in June, but the Saints coach Sean Payton said recently that he was ahead of schedule in his recovery, which led to optimism that he will be back as soon as he's eligible. The late timing of Thomas's surgery was a point of consternation with the team. Payton said at the beginning of training camp, "quote Obviously, we've liked that he happened. We liked it to have happened earlier than later, and quite honestly, it should have." End quote. Thomas then took off offense on the social media to report that he cited sources placing blame on him. However, tensions appeared to ease early this month when Peyton and Thomas had a productive phone conversation, and Thomas joined the team on the road for the preseason opener against Baltimore. Now, Thomas has missed a total of 9 games last year after originally suffering the injury in the final minutes of the Week 1 matchup against Tampa. He gained back to play in Week 9, then went on to the injury reserve list from weeks 15 to 17 to heal up before returning again for the playoffs. He finished with 438 yards in 7 regular season games and didn't catch his first touchdown pass until reported that the season that the surgery was expected because Thomas had torn the deltoid among other ligaments in his left ankle. The Saints will likely Marquez Callaway and Ford Smith among others in Thomas' absence. Smith has been sidelined for several weeks as well, but ESPN's Monday Night Football broadcasters say he's expected to be back soon from the hamstring. So it's a bit of news, and it does give the Saints a relative on when we Mike Thomas to return. It does give us a timeline on when you're looking at week 7, or maybe week 8 as a possible return point for Michael Thomas. Now, of course, once he comes back, you got to still take this stuff with kid gloves with Mike Thomas so that he can finally get beyond it. So they reported 8 weeks, looking like it's shorter than that. I would still kind of be, even when he's eligible to play, I would still take my time with Mike Thomas because at that point, I'm feeling like Mike will help your offense, but he won't help it if he's hurt. So let's just take our time with him like we would take our time with Quan Alexander. And by weeks 10, you can look at it and say, okay, we're good to go. Let's take off the restrictions and let him go ahead on and see what he can do. So, we'll see how it all shakes. But adding Mike Thomas to the puppy list is something that, it's a good move because it frees up a roster spot for the black and gold. And it allows us an opportunity to be able to see, exactly, where the Saints see him in his development. So in terms of his injury. So very intriguing there. All right, fam, let's move on to our next item, family, if you don't mind. We're going to move on to the Packers Saints to be played at Jacksonville's TIAA Bank Field in week 1. And this is from the NFL.com that's reporting on this. It's basically dropping it on us saying that the Saints week 1 matchup. The Saints are without a home for the first time being in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, but they have a site determined for week 1. The New Orleans season opener against the Green Bay Packers will be played at Jacksonville's TIAA Bank Field. The league announced Wednesday. The game will remain at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time start and will be broadcast on Fox. Now, the decision was made in consultation with state and local officials at both clubs in the interest of public safety, the league said in a release. Details on the tickets and other specifics, including how fans can continue to help and the recovery effort will be announced in day. There were a limited amount of potential locations in Week 1 meeting. The Saints are currently based in Dallas, where they spent the week practicing in the Cowboys' home of AT&T Stadium. However, a concert scheduled for September the 15th at the venue made it non-option for September the 12th. Their first two games are against the Packers and then Carolina in Week 2, meaning they prefer to avoid traveling any further west than Texas. The Giants travel to New England. The Saints travel to New England in Week 3 and have a home game scheduled against the Giants in Week 4. So, but the interest of it, there's a rule that the NFL put on the clubs is that you can't go to or have a NFL regular season NFL contest in a non-NFL venue, stadium venue, which would have put the Saints. I'm pretty sure they could have used other venues within the area, but that kind of eliminated them having an opportunity to play in, say, the Alamo Dome or another venue somewhere else. So they wanted the Saints to pick between available NFL stadiums within a proximity where the schedule can line up. Obviously, you don't want to see the Saints play in the Mercedes-Benz Dome or whatever you want to call it over there in Atlanta, but they made the choice to be in Jacksonville for the Green Bay Packers matchup, which is interesting. But my analysis is that the Saints will return home. Family will be home after this month. They did a good job of kind of lining it up like, okay, a month is all we need to kind of get everything situated, to get the infrastructure, the lights and all that. Many portions of the city is still in darkness right now. Some portions have lights, some don't. Areas west of New Orleans, like Laplace and some of the river parishes, was totally decimated. Like Laplace, certain portions of Laplace is still underwater. The storm decimated Laplace. It ripped houses up, homes, really nice, just tore them up. So I mean, we got the worst side of the damn stuff, the damn thing. But in a month's time should be more than enough time for the cities, and they'll make it more of a priority to move for the Saints because millions of dollars are at stake here. So of course they'll make sure at least the CBD area is powered up or what have you for this contest to happen, because too much money is on the line. Not to just to say something else. But anyway, that's what it is. Let's move on to the next article, family, that we're going to cover here. And of course, we talked about the Saints edition of adding other players to the roster, but let's keep it going here. And we're going to cover this, and then we're going to come back to the fact that the Saints are looking to kind of keep this boat going as the Saints add fullback Adam Prentice and defensive tackle Montravius Adams off of waivers. Now, when that happens, when you claim somebody off of waivers, you got to open up an active roster spot, not put them on practice squad, but you have to be able to open up an active roster spot. So Adam Armah wasn't good enough. Armah wasn't good enough for the Saints insofar as starting. They didn't see enough out of him. I thought he had a pretty decent camp, but Coach Payton didn't feel the same way. So like I warned you guys about Coach Payton and his thought process since after the cuts. The last several years have been really intriguing how the cuts went. Like you see guys perform and then they won't make the team. And I'm like, why didn't this guy make the team? Why did, and it happened. It's happened year after year. Now reports, this is from my good friends at the Saints News Network. Saints add fullback Adam Prentice and defensive tackle Montravius Adams off of waivers. Now the Saints added a player to fill in their vacant fullback position along with a veteran defensive lineman. Now the Saints claim Adam Prentice off of waivers. And of course, this was reported by Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. Now, he's 24 years old, an undrafted rookie out of South Carolina who spent the preseason with Denver before being released. He started his collegiate career at Colorado State, where he played for 3 years before finishing at South Carolina as a graduate transfer. Now, through 4 years of college, Prentice had 18 carries for 65 yards, but he added 20 receptions for 128 and a touchdown. He's 6 feet tall, 245 pounds, very solid. Prentice will try to win a job as the lead fullback for the Saints. He is the lead fullback currently for the Black and Gold Saints. So it is what it is, because Alex Armah is on the active, is on the practice squad. So with that being said, Prentice is the lone guy right there. He is the starting fullback for all intents purposes. And I was looking at film of this guy. This guy, he is not as fast as Alex Armah, in my opinion, but he is tough as nails. I mean, is a traditional fullback, and he does have pretty soft hands, man. I've seen him catch the ball out the backfield, but he is a guy that you don't want to see as a linebacker running into you. He'll knock you. I mean, I've seen some pretty good blocking by this kid, so I can see why the Saints reached out and got him. He's 6 feet 245. That's pretty solid for a fullback, and a lead fullback to help punch open holes for guys like Elvin Kamara or Tony Jones Jr., Latavius Murray. We'll see how often Coach Payton uses them because he don't know much about Coach Payton's offensive playbook yet, being that they just brought him in. So we'll see how it all shakes. But they see Coach Payton sees he likes this kid, and of course Saints concerned about the interior defensive line. They bring in defensive tackle Montravius Adams, who's a former Packer guy. Now this was reported by Adam Schefter that the Saints are going to bring him. Now Adams is 26. He was a third-round choice back in 2017's draft out of the University of Auburn. Now, I remember this guy. This guy was pretty good. He played 4 years at Green Bay, appearing in 45 games with only a sack, 1.5 on the sacks, and 4 tackles for a loss. He's 6'4", 304 pounds. Adams is with the Patriots this preseason before being released, and Norris will be without Onyemata for 6 games because of the PEDs. And, of course, the Saints did make corresponding moves to add these guys to the team. So these are intriguing prospects, and both guys will obviously have a role in the Saints' offense and defenses. We'll see how it all looks moving ahead, but very intriguing moves by the Black and Gold. Once again, Coach Payton does make these moves when teams start freeing up other people, and he starts looking around and seeing guys that he like, or guys that they scouted or scouted from previous years, and say, yeah, man, let's get this guy and bring him up in here. Another guy to share with the family members that the Saints are intrigued about signing is this guy right here, Jaleel Johnson, who's a former Texan defensive tackle. It's been added. The Saints are expected to add this guy, and we'll see what kind of corresponding moves. Let's get in this, and this is from Sigler from the Saints Wire. More help is on the way for the Saints. The Black and Gold are expected to sign free agent defensive tackle Jaleel Johnson, according to Houston Texans beat writer Aaron Wilson. Their previously reported addition, a former Patriots Packer defensive tackle Montravius Adams, has not yet become official, but there will be 2 signings in the last 3 days to a position group that look awful thin when the Saints rolled out the 53-man roster. Now, of course, we know about David Onyemata, who's the best interior defensive lineman the Saints have, will be out for 6 weeks. But in his absence, the players on the active roster include Malcolm Roach, who has a high upside. We know about Shai Tuttle, and Christian Ringo stepped up. So you also, with Adams and Johnson on the way, the Saints practice squad also added undrafted rookie Josiah Bronson and Albert Huggins, who both look good in camp. So with all that said, it's a very much a group that's still being put together. What does Johnson add to it? Johnson's 27 years old, was a former Minnesota Viking 4th-round draft pick choice in 2017 out of Iowa. He saw progressively larger snaps in each of his first 4 years, but he wasn't re-signed and ended up spending his summer with the Texans. So Houston released him during the final wave of roster cuts, and now he landed with the Saints. Now, he isn't a great athlete, 6'3", 316, posting a mediocre 1.87 relative athletic score, but Johnson does offer much more as a pass rusher than Adams or other players on the roster. Pro Football Focus credits him with 4 pressures in 3 preseason games, totaling 25 pressure, 7 sacks in his time with the Vikings. While he probably isn't someone the Saints want to start in week 1, he does add a boost of veteran experience to a thin group of. So with that being said, you add Jaleel Johnson, you add Montravius Adams to the mixture. These are veteran defensive linemen that kind of help up your young guys. Now you have Shai Tuttle, second-year guys, Shai Tuttle and Mel. These guys are guys that have been with the same. You add Jaleel Johnson, you add Montravius Adams, you add guys like that to the fray that help the team from a veteran standpoint until David Onyemata gets back and helps out. So, and of course, don't forget the Saints will also use Tanu Passanio as a guy in the mixture as well. And don't forget that the Saints can rotate guys like Cam or Peyton Turner to the interior position, because the Saints do that from time to time, where they can move personnel in and around all about. And this will be one of those versatility things that we talked about as a squad, man, that the New Orleans Saints have that most teams are standardly don't have, is the fact that they do and are very versatile. As they are, man, they are versatile as hell. I just got to give it to the Black and Gold guys. They are versatile as any in the league. All right, and then finally, family, before we get ready to get up out of here, let me give the family members a look at the practice squad And of course, we know that up to 16 players can be added to a practice squad right now. Let me see if I can pull that up for you, family. Just give me a second here. We know that, let me see, update it. All right. Yeah, we know that up to 16 people at a time could be added to that practice squad. Hold on here, family. All right, just a second. Let me make sure I get this here. The practice squad additions. We do know at any given time that the team could add up to 16 people. The Saints, however, are not adding 16 people to the practice squad right now. I think they have about 11 or 12 players on the practice squad currently. So let's look at the practice squad here, and let me get it on screen here. All right, there we go. All right, it's the practice squad right here. Who's on the practice squad? Quan Baker was able to make it. Went McManus, Kevin White, Ethan Wolf, the tight end, Elbert Huggins, Brian Mills, Caleb Binnock, Josiah Bronson, Aesop Winston, Alex Armad, Kavari Russell, and Kadar Holman, the cornerback. So the Saints do have help in terms of defensive backs, several DBs, several defensive linemen that can come in if something happened, and wide receivers. As you can see, that is the big thing. Now, of course, you don't see Trevor Simeon there. So the so Ian Book is the man, and we expected Ian Book to step in as an active a roster person to take over. Now, we did hear rumbling that the Saints wanted to bring uh, Trevor Simeon back in that capacity as a practice squad guy, but it is yet to materialize. Now, there's still movements that need to be made, obviously, but as you can see, when you look at the Saints practice squad, we knew Quan Baker was a 7th round draft pick. A lot of people thought he would make it, but he didn't do enough in Coach Payton's eyesight. Quan Baker and Kevin White are the only, and Aesop Winston are the 3 wide receivers there for the wide receiver group. You got 1 linebacker with McManus with what, 5 active linebackers, 6 active linebackers with the Saints. And I don't know if I don't anticipate that to stay. I'm anticipating for Alex Rojas to be made or to make the team. I'm thinking Rojas might be the guy to come in, and you might see Rojas. Uh, to be honest with you, in the Saints, you might see one of the linebackers get released and then picked up, because this was something we covered a ways ago when we talked about when the Saints made a move to cut Eldrick Rojas and put him on the street. And that's what I was saying. I was like, this is most curious because and we know that ultimately you're going to need a kicker, and Rojas is the guy that's going to kick for the Black and Gold Saints. So what's the move here? Well, the move is the Saints got to figure out what they're going to do. It's a little flux here, and they got a little time before it get going. But the reality at the end of the day is Rojas is going to be on this team as the Saints' primary kicker. The issue is who goes before he does. So this will be something that we ultimately will have to figure out. And I think it'll be one of the linebackers, more than likely either Dowell or Chase. That's my thought process is they're not going to keep 6 linebackers. There's no reason to keep 6 active linebackers on a team with 5 will do just well. So, I mean, and here go the story right here for Saints. Why Saints released fill-in kicker Eldrick Rojas in the procedural move. And of course, they expected, and we also said that they expected to bring him back. Now, you see them with the Montravius Adams and Adam Prentice moves, makes it intriguing, but you got to look at your roster and say which one of these guys that we can do without, or we can keep them on the practice squad, to bring a kick in. And I'm looking at the linebackers. I don't think you keep 6 linebackers on the active roster. I think Rojas will probably knock off a Dowell or a Chase, who will end up on the practice squad once they clear waivers. So that's my opinion and happen. So expect that to happen between what is today, Saturday, between now and maybe, the next couple of days, to be honest with you. That's my take on it. But anyway, that'll do it for the show. Listen, fam, I appreciate you guys for chiming in on this edition of the Coma. Sorry, had to tape it right now. We having internet issues. So, just feel free to make sure you share the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as we keep moving forward. Hashtag NOLA Strong is in the scroller. Cash App is Cash App, the Sports Coma. You can feel free as well to hit us up with the Cash App or PayPal to help us moving forward as far as donations are concerned. But in the interim, family, we will return in full strength. We'll make sure we be back up and running real soon. To the Tough Tiger Talk family, we'll be doing the Tough Tiger Talk stream. To the Pelican Post Game Report family, we will be doing that as well. So just be patient with us, and we're going to keep walking through this stuff. So with that being said, I love y'all and appreciate y'all. Please hit upon the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber for the Great Saint Think Tank, please hit that thing. Please feel free to share the show's link on your social media feed as well. And like I said, the Cash App and PayPal are in the description section and in the stroller. So with that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Much love and prayers to all of the people that has been going through this storm. It was a real rough one. Knocked out a lot of stuff. But you know, I haven't been away from the family members for 5 days, but you know, it couldn't be helped. So with that being said, listen, we back in effect, we moving forward, and we gonna be here. So much love to you guys. Appreciate y'all, and I'll holler at y'all later. Who dat? Peace.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us.
What's up, fam? This is Big Q from the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year, we gave away several PS4s and games. So this year, we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket to up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It also benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love. Big ups to you.